Let me describe a movie that is being developed to you.
Okay.
It is called The Right Way.
Okay.
It will star, or at least feature, Hopper Penn, son of Sean Penn.
Ugh, what a horrible name.
It's being directed by Destry Spielberg. Relation. That's the opposite of no relation. And the writer is Owen King, son of Stephen King.
No, I hate all of this.
Yes, he has more than one son, I guess. Although Owen King looks like he ate Joe Hill. Would you say that Hollywood is a meritocracy or full of nepotism?
Can it be both?
Well, according to Ben Stiller and Franklin Leonard, founder of The Blacklist, it is both. As long as you agree with both of their opinions and you listen to both of them.
But Ben Stiller, your parents were both in Hollywood actors too.
I'm trying to think of
What?
Ben Stiller.
You shouldn't be
absolutely
making
the guy
this
that
argument.
would speak out. Worst guy to speak out.
No.
Right? I'm trying to John Goodman. Maybe I'm trying to. No.
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
You'll find Hollywood connections in there, won't you?
I don't think she.
Lance
did.
Henriksen was beat out of his home by his father at the age of 14 and became a merchant marine.
Oh my goodness.
And, found his way into Hollywood. Or Mel Gibson, terrible person, but literally just drunkenly drove his best friend to an audition for a little film called Mad Max. And the producers, he had gotten in a bar fight the night before, so he looked 10 miles of bad road. And they're like, who is this guy? This guy looks tough. Bring him back. He'll read for one of the punks. So 3 weeks later, he comes back to read for the punk. His face is all healed up. He's young Mel Gibson. And they're like, oh, this is Mad Max right here. This is Max Rocketanksy. So Franklin Leonard came up with the idea.
Right. Did his friend get us?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Okay.
Who's a friend?
I feel bad for the friend.
Where's his sled?
Shut up.
Franklin Leonard came up with The Blacklist. He's a film producer. I might be a writer. I'm not sure. But The Blacklist is a collection of unproduced screenplays. Because remember, scripts go out to people, and you don't know, what the Matrix is until you see the movie. But scripts, they circulate around Hollywood.
Right.
And so he's one of the people who sees scripts, and I'm sure people he knows and his friends and colleagues all say, this is really good, but nobody wants to make this because of A, B, or C, whatever. And so all these scripts are on the list. Now, up until it was just an ironic thing in the mid-2000s when he came up with it. Why won't they make these movies? But because we are thirsting for content
Ideas.
And we're ready to make The Return of Jafar 2, people are looking now at that list and picking things off of it. And so every once in a while, I think Passengers, that terrible Chris Pratt movie, was a Blacklist film.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Sometimes there are successes. Sometimes they're not produced because they're not good scripts.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And so anyway, he took to Twitter and retweeted this article from Discussing Film about what I said to you, the Sean Penn, Steven Spielberg, Stephen King, the spawn of their loins.
Yeah.
Isn't, not Steve, Sean, Steve, close enough. The 3 S's.
Yeah.
Their kids are going to be in this film. And he's like, oh, Hollywood's a meritocracy, right? Of course. And Ben Stiller's like, hold on, everybody has struggles. It's too easy, Franklin. Everybody has their path. Wish them all the best. And normally you think great, block, mute, or just live your life. But they got into a thing where they went back and forth. And I'm not going to go through all of it, but they went 10 deep. And they had this.
Stiller, I am ashamed of you.
And they had this completely respectful conversation where neither of them changed either's opinion. All they did was just, bipartisan. All they did was just sort of get their opinions on each other until Franklin Leonard's like, yeah, I'm sure, because Stiller's thing was, lots of people have opportunities, a lot of people don't. But if you're given an opportunity, if you don't have skill, you're not going to continue to make it. And Franklin Leonard's like, really? we both know people who have no skill who have continued to make it. We're too nice to use any names, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I see both points, but just just because you're given, it's not all about talent.
Yeah. Well,
it's not.
And it took an interesting turn when Franklin Leonard said that, the difference is most of these folks will acknowledge the nepotism that contributed to their success. I don't know where he's going with this. He says, like I said, Hollywood folks tend to believe that it's a pure meritocracy and their success is an indication of their merit. And Ben Stiller says, wow, really? I totally owe a huge debt to my folks, and I have never said that I didn't. You're throwing yourself under the bus? I know that my mother and father were famous comedians and actors.
Yeah, I mean...
And who knew literally everybody in Hollywood.
I think
But your argument about diversity is very sound, and I agree with that.
Yeah, right.
Why don't you guys just angrily have sex already?
I think you go 10 deep on Twitter and
it's just
you are noise. Who you are. Yeah, but like you have to, it has to be addressed, right? Otherwise it's like, why didn't Ben Stiller say, acknowledge this or something like
Twitter
that?
replies were a mistake. Don't you think? The whole point is...
I don't necessarily
The whole
disagree.
point is you're opening a window and going, it's my money and I want it now.
Yeah, pretty
right?
much.
You're not, It's not your money. That's
I didn't ask you.
literally the only reply you could get. Or, give him his money. There isn't...
Right.
No, when you say it's your money, is it all your money or is only some of it your money?
Yeah, right.
The tax man deserves some of your money. You don't want to answer any of those questions.
No.
Twitter should just be, I guess even in ancient Rome, they would say Publius sucks dick or whatever. And then the person would be like, so well, right? Hey, you're not a part of this. We find these old graffiti, we unearth these Roman towns and people are having it's like a
graffiti war,
college ruled notebook paper. They're like, no, actually, let's talk about Publius. He does suck dick, but he also cradles balls.
Right.
And it just goes on and on. So it'll never change, I suppose.
No, it reminds me of graffiti on bathroom, walls or doors or whatever. Like sometimes it's like, oh, I love so and so, and then somebody will write, who cares? Or, or like me too, or, and it's like, what? Who freaking, why are we doing this? Yeah. Why is this a thing?
Here I sit brokenhearted. Like, oh, I'm sorry that your heart was broken. You deserve better. Don't worry about it.
I know.
Can you hand me some paper?
I know. Can you spare a square?
Buddy, can you spare a square? Let's move on from toilet talk to introduce ourselves. Take one step down and say that we're the Just Enough Trope podcast. I'm your host, Caliban, joined as always by my co-host.
Hi, I'm Mika and Hana.
And here we are to bring you all the news that's fit to cast in the world of nerdy entertainment. Some might be unfit. I won't promise that we sell wine not before it's time. Allow myself to introduce myself. But we are here to report quite a lot of news, but that's not really what we're featuring here. We're here to feature a particular property today. It's a property that is hard to Google. Google will either autocorrect for you to something you don't want, and then you never know if you should include the periods in the initialism.
Yes.
But we're here to talk about a Marvel property, and that's Modok.
Yes.
No, you do it.
Oh my God. It stands for...
She's reading it.
I can't.
Do you hear the typing?
No.
You hear typing and clicking, don't you?
No, it's mental organism designed. And then what's the O? Something killing. Designed for killing? What's the O?
Yeah, the O in 4 is... Look. Look.
Yeah.
Stanley.
Yeah.
Smart? Clever, let's say.
Very clever.
I'm not sure he was a smart guy.
Yes.
They went backwards. He probably, shot up cold sweat. Modok!
Can you picture that?
And he rolled over and Jack said, what are you? They're in the same bed in this.
Of course.
You got that.
Of course.
If I was doing this in stop motion animation, that he would go, Modok! And Jack would be like, what are you talking about? As he sits up out of bed. Yeah, it's a mental organism designed only for killing.
Only for killing. Excuse me. I forgot the only, but there's also a 4 in there, which does not make it into the acronym.
A character who was created by Lee and Kirby in the late 60s. And yes, except for the fact that he always showed up in the Captain America comics nobody was reading, languished forever in obscurity. You pull out the Marvel handbook and you go, who's that? It's a Moon Knight. Who's that? Oh, it's a D-Man. All right, Luigi, who's this? I don't know who that is. It's Modok.
Yes.
And it isn't until we reached the completely just effed out, cynical 21st century that we were ready to take this character who is absurd on his face. And really, it can only be on his face. Yeah. There's no other part of him.
Yeah.
And really dig into what we can do with this character. And it takes a certain person to do that.
Yes.
And that is a person who once joked about how his phone thinks that he's an evil supercomputer. Because when he got his phone out to text his wife and to tell her that he loved her, and he put I in his phone, who was the recipient of many of his rants, immediately autofilled it in with hate. And then he accidentally hit send. So to his wife, he said, I hate.
Oh my God, no.
And that had to have been the inspiration for the character Modok. That or the Missouri Department of Corrections apparently shares that same initialism. So we're going to talk about Modok, specifically the Hulu series. Yes. That is not exactly new, but we're just getting around to it. And we had a week to fill. We're talking about the Modok series on Hulu. It's a stop-motion series, essentially from the Robot Chicken people.
Yes.
It's from Stupid Buddy Studios, who did a lot of, pretty much all the work on the motion work, not the writing. And that'll be important later on Robot Chicken. And it's written by Patton Oswalt and Jordan Blum, who also wrote a comic book.
Yes.
Which is sort of connected, sort of not. Depends on how you feel about it, to the series. And we'll be talking about that as well. It's a 4-issue miniseries called Head Games.
Yeah, I know. It's fun. We're having fun.
We're having fun, everybody. Come on.
With Modok. It's fun with Modok.
Yeah.
Get with the program.
That's what we're talking about. We will be talking about the news as well. Anything to say before we dive in?
I guess I would like to say that coming up right quick in the next week, you and me will be appearing at Convergence. I know. Is right, because we're going to be on a lot of panels, and I am not ready. I am so not ready, and I'm feeling very anxious. But I'm also really excited. It's going to be a fun time. So yeah, we're going to be, we'll be there, and we'll be interviewing people, and basically doing kind of like mini shows every day. With like a wrap-up sort of thing. So you'll be hearing those shortly as well.
Yeah. As we get closer,
yeah,
somehow I feel like the possibility of us streaming these things gets less. It should get more as we get closer.
Yeah.
The con has initially said that they would be doing their best to
stream
panels because a lot of people can't make it this year just for various reasons and because of the pandemic and stuff like that. And so even though they're taking precautions.
Yes.
And so they said that they were going to assist panelists in streaming their things. Of course, that's a huge undertaking, and we've heard nothing else about it.
No.
And so that tells me, with the little limited experience I have, that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I personally might try to stream some of my panels. I got the tripod and I got a 4K cell phone, so we'll see if we can make that work. If that happens, we will try to. We won't try. We will. We'll put the links out probably on Twitter or maybe on Facebook, depending on how the integration works. And so next weekend, starting Thursday afternoon, just keep an eye on our feed. We'll try to give you like a link saying we're going to go live soon. And then you can see us talk about, movies, pop culture, anime, comic books, the whole enchilada.
Yes, exactly.
I'm on a Mexican food panel.
Not a Deadpool panel.
All right, save it for the comic book segment.
All right.
Let's talk about the news. Well, the first thing that we have to talk about is we have to talk about Bob Odenkirk.
Yes. How is he doing?
And the huge bullet that we all dodged, or maybe he was doing something that was in the scene on the set. I don't know. But he collapsed on the set of Better Call Saul.
Oh, I didn't realize it was on the set.
Yeah, he was rushed to the hospital. You know, we're late game here in Better Call Saul, right? Maybe if it's early stuff, he's like, "Hey, come on, I'm Jimmy. Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Take it easy,
Right.
Chuck." But you know,
Chuck's not around anymore.
last season, spoilers from last season, Better Call Saul, he's probably getting chased around by gangsters. He just made a movie where he beats everybody up like John Wick. So I don't know. Maybe the pressure's on. I didn't think of him as an unhealthy guy.
No.
This just happens to some people sometimes. It doesn't have to do with being unhealthy necessarily.
No.
But he has tweeted about it. And if you can tweet, you're alive, right?
Yes.
Unless it's COVID.
Yeah.
Get those tweets where it's like, I ain't wearing a mask. Next tweet. Dang, it's hard to breathe. Next tweet. Dong. R.I.P.
Oh my gosh.
Doofus man.
I know.
He tweeted, I had a small heart attack. I'm going to be okay. Thanks to Rosa Estrada.
Oh, okay.
And the doctors who knew how to fix the blockage without surgery. So that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
And AMC and Sony's support has been next level, he says.
Okay.
Rose Estrada is one of the people on the show.
Okay. Maybe she just like recognized or acted quickly somehow in helping him get to the hospital and getting the help he needed.
Yeah.
Or has some, I don't know, first aid training. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm glad he's going to be okay. It's worrisome that when you hear stuff like this, I just the thought that we could have lost him so young is upsetting.
Yeah. And you know, the last season of the show. I mean, come on. Wait, recast?
I mean, I think you just no. You
well,
just
they
call
won't.
it,
Yeah,
but...
the filming is on hold, and
Yeah.
we don't know when it'll start again. And don't be in any hurry. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
we're used to waiting for AMC shows.
Yeah, right.
So I got him again.
You did.
Let's keep talking about TV. This is fun. Love Victor's been renewed for a third season at Hulu, and this is the first time that I read an article about Love Victor, and I didn't see Becky's name in it. So I hope she's getting paid off of this bitch still.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
They listed, it was a variety of articles. They listed all the producers, like anybody cares.
Yeah, right.
But I do, because I was looking for Becky Ebertali's name. But I'm sure as the property creator, she gets paid.
Well, I mean, that's a good question, because I don't necessarily know that she's necessarily the property creator.
She is. She created the universe.
She created the universe.
When little Simon boy, can't remember the actor, Jurassic World kid, shows up to give him a pep talk.
Yeah, I know.
She gets paid off of that.
Yeah, right. So, but she didn't create any of the characters in Love Victor, so I don't know.
She's got what was her credit in the first episode?
You put me on the spot on this.
Well, then it kind of seems like you don't know what you're talking about then, doesn't it? Let's talk about other TV stuff. Okay. Did you know that Matt Ryan, everybody's least favorite Constantine,
yes,
who has appeared on Legends of Tomorrow, because they just won't let this joke die. It's not funny anymore. Well, the joke's finally over. He will be returning to Legends of Tomorrow for season 7, playing a different character.
I saw this. Do we know anything about the character that he's going to be playing?
He'll be playing Gwyn Davies. I'm sorry, he didn't go to 7 years of dumb school to not. He's Dr. Gwyn Davies.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I don't know if this is he's from the early 20th century, so he'll be like a Edwardian scientist.
Oh my goodness.
Who is, sort of straining and yelling his lines at people.
That sounds kind of terrifying.
It seems like a trick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's going to be Constantine's ancestor or something like that.
Probably.
On his mother's side.
Right? Yeah.
Because they're not ready to let this joke go yet.
No.
How are we doing on that Dark Justice League movie?
I have not
so we can
heard
recast this thing already.
anything about that.
I'm sorry, I don't like him. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy.
It's fine. You don't have to like him.
His one half season of Constantine show on NBC sucked.
Yeah.
And so why do we keep this alive? Who cares?
I don't know.
Maybe
because
everybody
people love the
fits
character.
into the Berlanti universe.
Yeah, right.
Becky should really talk to them about. We keep doing a meta thing where, first of all, we need to get Simon into the DC universe. That has to happen. He gets Ferris wheel based powers. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, right.
And his sidekick Blue, and then
yes.
And then we have an author thing where she's got like magic power and she's like writing things as it goes. It's like Delirious, like John Candy and Delirious.
Okay,
she's got
sure.
the typewriter.
Yeah. I like it.
Remember Delirious?
Yeah, I remember Delirious.
All right, fine. Speaking of TV, there's a Pokemon live-action series in early development at Netflix from Lucifer's Joe Henderson.
Oh my God. I'm a little terrified.
So, Pikachu's going to be a little bit sexy, a little bit naughty.
Oh, stop it. Like, I hope they do, like, are the Pokemon going to be, like, CGI or something like that? Or, like, what? Like, how are they going to do this? You have so many Pokemon, and they're not, like, people height.
You watch a Japanese show where a CGI robot cat is telling people what to do. Don't even give me that.
All right. Okay. I guess I got my answer.
Okay. If I knew anything about Pokemon, I'd know how to feel about this. Let's talk about Bridgerton star Regé-Jean Page, starring in a reimagining of The Saint.
Oh.
At Paramount.
Okay.
It's like the Kombucha Girl. She's like, oh.
Oh, no. Because it's at Paramount.
Let me quote the Bible. Can anything good come from Paramount? Luke, chapter 3.
Okay. I know I've heard of The Saint before, but I just can't place it. What is? I know you're disappointed in me, but
you're a big Val Kilmer fan, so you're showing your false colors.
I never.
Here.
Okay, I don't know where you got that.
You are a Val Kilmer fan.
I like him as Batman more than I like Clooney.
Well, this is the job that he got after Batman.
Okay.
The Saint.
Okay.
A terrible film remake of the 1960s series starring Roger Moore as a gentleman thief who wears disguises and tricks people and solves crimes.
Is this...
That's how he got the James Bond job.
I was going to say, is this how Paige is going to try to get the James Bond job? Kind of sounds like that.
Well, Paramount is just the crappy avenue to help him make that dream come true.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's just a stop along the way.
If anything, if I was him, I would be like, making friends with a British TV producer and then end up as the first person of color Doctor Who, which a lot of people think is in the cards now that it's been announced that showrunner Chris Chibnall and star Jodie Whittaker will be leaving Doctor Who next year.
It is official. It was just announced this week officially. Are you happy about that? Are you singing
I'm just in a good mood.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about. No, that's not even true. I haven't really enjoyed this series. I'm going to be honest, and I don't think that Jodie Whittaker is a bad doctor or a bad actress. I just don't think that I haven't really liked the writing very much, and I don't think that they really developed.
Why does the first female doctor have to have a family and be a mom
Good point.
to her fam?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That, and then I just don't think that they really developed her character a whole lot, and then some of the stories
they're supposed to Peter Capaldi is supposed no they're silly. Peter Capaldi is supposed to be totally not in love, but just supposed to cherish what's her name?
River Song?
No. He doesn't care about River Song. Oh. Clara.
Yeah, right.
He's so devastated by her death, even though she was such a pain in the ass.
I know.
But I just feel like they kept finding excuses to put him on his own.
Yes.
And part of that was that they were trying to really, after having her be around and then be a Dalek and be all this other stuff, once we got Clara, they tried to really develop her character. And Jenna Coleman, was great, did a great job, and that was all fine and good. But I feel like they kept trying to separate them so they could, she would do some stuff, but then he's like, I'm going to talk directly to the camera, and play my guitar and be kind of dark and weird.
Yeah.
And then we go right into oh, I sure love my family. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it drove the shippers crazy. Her and Yaz.
Yeah, I know. Okay, fine.
But I didn't like that. And then the new season, there's one season left still. She's not gone yet.
Yeah,
the new season is there's a new companion in town.
Yep.
And he's a hot dude. What's his story? We're going to find out about Dan.
Uh-huh. I'm not excited.
Where's the broken name generator you're getting these names from?
I know.
I mean, no, Yaz is fine, but Dan.
I know. It's so boring.
It's Dan.
Yeah, I know.
All the great companions. Adric, Lita,
yeah,
Dan.
Dan. I mean, you could.
He's no Jamie McCrinin, I tell you that.
Yeah, right. Come up with a more British name than Dan. I mean, I'm sure Dan is very finely British, but like, I don't know, name him like Liam or something like that. I don't know.
It's not. It's not British.
Okay.
Because it's Jewish.
Yeah, right.
And they got rid of all the Jews.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
Although, ironically, I'm sure a lot of British people named Dan. So, I don't know. Predictions. I already gave my prediction. I think they will go for a actor, probably an actor and not actress of color for the next one. What do you think?
Well, I think that may be the smart move. I kind of want to just agree with you, but I think here's something else that I'll add. I don't think it's going to be another female doctor.
No, it's not.
And I don't think it will be for a while, for better or for worse. I was really thankful that we had a female doctor. I just, again, we're given these stories about these female characters, but sometimes they're just not great stories. You know, like Black Widow could have been better. The more I think about it, like I really enjoyed it, but it could have been better.
Black Widow, male writer.
Right. Doctor Who, female doctor, male writer, or at least Chibnall is the.
Well, see, I asked for a prediction.
Yeah.
You immediately went to who the doctor's going to be, and what is 10 times as important as that is who's the new showrunner going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why
female showrunner. That would be awesome.
How do we get Phoebe Waller-Bridge blacklisted from Hollywood so she has to come crawling back, and she takes the job of writing a new Doctor Who show for girlfriends?
I know.
No.
I don't know that she wants to write.
I guess I haven't watched BBC programming in a while. Like, I don't know who's.
I know.
I guess you'd have to go somewhere else. Like, is BBC willing to go outside and go to Netflix? Get the creator of Bridgerton or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, get somebody else. Who do they have in the wings? Because we had Russell Davies working for them forever. We had Stephen Moffat working for them forever. We had Chris Chibnall working under Stephen Moffat for a little while. I hope and pray that the window is closed on Mark Gatiss.
Yep.
But he might literally be the last Scrabble tile left in the bag.
I really don't know.
I don't know.
I guess I haven't paid enough attention to the latest series as to really see like.
And that's why you're a pop culture journalist. Let's move on to our next story. HBO is putting a massive budget towards 8 seasons of its Last of Us show.
Okay.
So
maybe wait till like the first season debut.
No. Wait till the books are finished, right? They wouldn't do that on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
So this means that they're already in talks with Naughty Dog. Is it Naughty Dog?
I don't even know.
And they're probably working on the third game, but now a bunch of HBO guys are like, hey, and scarves come in, and they're like, all right, everybody, let's start talking about possibilities. Hey, what are they? Right?
Right.
Right? Because if it's going to go 8 years, that will encompass Last of Us 3, of which I know it's hot right now, but there will be one.
Yeah.
Last of Us, The Next Generation,
right.
The spinoff. Like, now that you invite the HBO guys in and they never leave.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And is this going to be completely different from the games, I wonder?
Well, some people think so.
Yeah.
Joel will be Hispanic, but otherwise, no, I don't think that there will be any difference. Why would there be?
Yeah.
You got a great story there already.
Yeah, true.
They got to find a chick with giant guns. That's what everybody complains about.
Oh my God, such a stupid thing to complain about.
Well, complain about this. Rosie O'Donnell's going to be in Amazon's A League of Their Own series in a new role.
In a new role?
Yeah. It doesn't sound like a big role.
What? Okay. So she just has a cameo?
She's playing a bartender in one of the scenes at a local gay bar.
So they just gave her. This is a cameo. That's what this is called.
Do you know anything about this?
Did you hear about this? Did you know about this? I don't know anything about this series, but I love.
Where's the gay bar in 1940s?
Oh, good point.
New England. I mean, I'm sure they existed. I'm just saying, like.
But were there female bartenders?
So okay, all right. So this is Abby Jacobson, right? This is one half of the Broad Cities.
Oh, okay.
And this is her thing.
Oh, that sounds fun then.
Yeah, because Broad City was great.
I enjoyed it.
It was great for a while. When Hillary Clinton showed up, like she, leapt over a shark to come on into the scene.
Yeah, right.
And so like it's gonna be, it has to be about a female baseball team, right?
Yeah.
Is there gonna be a frame narrative in the future, in the present?
I have no idea. I haven't heard about it until you mentioned it just now. I mean, I love
what?
I love the film.
Oh, well, I'm surprised you hadn't heard about this then.
Are you gonna dig on me all night about things that I don't know about?
That's what I brought the show for. I'm playing hit games.
Great. You're being Modok and you're dissing me.
Hawkeye sets November premiere date, November 24th. You take the arrow, you take the bow, you shoot the turkey.
Yes.
You cook it up.
Yep.
And then you eat the bird that you bought from the store.
Yeah.
This show's going to be in Turkey. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know anything about this show. I mean, I know that Jeremy Renner will be in it. I know that Haley Steinfeld will be in it. And some other people.
Yep.
So we'll see.
And the dog, right? The pizza dog will be in it.
Problem, I'm sure. Star. The show.
Yeah, star of the show.
So awesome. Since the Matt Fraction thing has bounced now, that check has bounced, right? I love it when, here's one thing that I love. You give Bendis this much. He was good for like maybe the first 5 years, maybe 6 or 7 years of his input. And then it was just, now I'm a guy who just answers the call of the corporate masters to sell the toys. And so we've got the good guys are bad, the bad guys are good. It's a magic spell. Oh, there's 7 Thor's hammers or they're evil hammers. We just have to just keep this thing going.
Right.
Because that's what we do now.
Right.
It's part of the world that I helped create. Mm-hmm. But he was still making stuff, and then now he's going to go ruin DC Comics.
Right.
Matt Fraction's like, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt Fraction. I'm so cool. I'm in town. Here's a bunch of things. Tony Stark's adopted. We're going to do all these other things. I'm out. I'm going to go make movies about me and my wife's comic books, none of which you've seen yet.
Yeah.
He came in and he pooped in the punch bowl and then left the party.
Why did he do that?
So anyway, all I'm saying is, Hawkeye was fine. I think it gets more credit than it deserves, his run on Hawkeye, but it was a new, fresh look at the character. I thought it was fun. A lot of which was built into the very stylistic art that defined the character. Who knows how they'll capture that in the desaturated Marvel style.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. You can't really capture it the same way because it was like not as many
Maybe they'll go full Ang Lee and it'll be like panels. We like the camera's moving through the panels.
I think that would be a strange choice for a Marvel TV show.
He shoots an arrow and it goes over a gutter, over a border, and then we flip by a couple panels and then it hits the guy.
I mean, I could see that. I just think it would be a little...
You don't like that kind of meta comic storytelling? You must have hated the comic we're going to talk about.
Well, if it's done well, then yeah, it's great. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I heard that, like, now that it's never enough for some fans. I heard that now Hawkeye has a release date. People are demanding a release date for Ms. Marvel. When are we going to get it? When are we going to get it?
I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know too.
I think it's done. And they're still shooting Hawkeye.
It's supposed to come out this year as well.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten a date yet for some reason.
Well, Dune is in October. Also, Mass Panic and Death is in October. So maybe they're just trying to settle on, when will everybody be the sickest in that home?
Oh my goodness.
I'm willing to kick out for a Disney Plus subscription.
Let's hope that's not what they're doing.
We'll see what happens with that and what they say. I'm done with the TV news. I don't want to talk about TV news anymore.
All right.
Except to say that Delroy Lindo will star as Mr. Anansi in Amazon's Anansi Boys. And we're moving on. Question answered.
Okay.
You wanted an older guy. You got it. Let's move on to... Oh. Well, why not? Here's what's happening in Hollywood. It's the revenge of the redheads.
Oh.
Scarlett Johansson
Yep.
is suing Disney.
Yep.
For if you sue them, you file papers, and then the papers are record, and then we know, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't see any dollar amounts. Maybe to be determined. Can you
Yeah.
Can you put asking TBA Or just put a flag by that.
Or but anyway, you put like a percentage of like something percent
X,
of.
and when we figure out what X is, you bring me X.
Right.
Well, exactly. She is suing Disney because she says they breached contract with her when they released Black Widow simultaneously in theaters and at home on Disney Plus.
Yes.
The reason being is that 11, 12 films, whatever it is, into this now, she, being the highest paid movie star in the world, doesn't get a check anymore. She gets a check, but she also gets points off the back end. She gets a percentage. Right. And when Disney releases it in two different places, it cuts into her percentage. And they did not apparently negotiate with that with her. I think the suit or the complaint says at one point that she, with the impending release of the thing, went with her lawyer and renegotiated and said, so this is going to be in theaters, right? We're going to do this in theaters. This is going to happen, right? Because you guys are going to owe me money.
Yeah.
Because I'm good and this is going to be successful. I'm betting on myself here.
Yes.
Not a problem. Release it on Disney Plus, makes $60 million on Disney Plus.
Yep.
And so she's out some money. And so that's her complaint. Well, Disney did not sit idle.
Of course not.
And they, through their representatives, fired back and says, it's really, you guys, it's really like kind of shitty that like at this time of COVID, like when people are dying, and theaters are suffering, you do this?
Yeah.
I'm writing this from Disney World Resort and Hotel, which are open and full of people right now.
I know.
But they're not in the theaters. So we had to put it on Disney Plus.
But they also released it in theaters. You pointed out to me before.
Would you agree with Mary Sue that this is a sexist attack on Scarlett Johansson?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well...
I was saying, if George Clooney did this, everybody would be like, give the guy, Dr. Ross needs the money. Come on.
I mean, Disney probably would have still, if it was a guy saying this, they probably would have still, been given a half.
Well, they picked a fight with the wrong 4'11" person. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, have you seen her fight? She's Black Widow.
That's right. Come on out here. Legs around the head, flip down.
Yeah, exactly.
We know how this works.
You're down,
the reason
mouse.
that it's the Revenge of the Redheads is, how did she get her legs around my ears? The reason it's the Revenge of the Redheads is because Emma Stone had a movie that came out a little while ago, both in theaters and on Disney Plus, and she's like, 1 second, we hear a drawer open, a flappy contract come out, flip. So she said that she is reviewing her options. And then, just recently, The Jungle Cruise came out.
Yep.
Where another redheaded woman, Emily Blunt, says, hey, wait a minute, my movie made $30 million on Disney Plus for its release weekend. Do I get that money? I think this is the new thing in Hollywood.
Yep. This is going to be a thing.
And it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. You think that, like, as a studio, you go, let's get ahead of this.
Yeah.
And let's convince people, look, we don't have the same distribution costs. But we have to pay server fees, and you do the Hollywood math, and you end up shorting them. You give them 75%, 50% of it, but they get something, so they don't sue you.
They need to get something.
But instead, they're like, I think nobody's going to notice. They pay people millions of dollars a year to notice.
I know.
Nobody's ever going to not notice.
Yeah.
And yet they think that they're going to get away with this. It's like what happened.
Which is the craziest thing.
Yeah, more than 10 years ago now, the writer's strike over streaming revenues. 30 Rock's really big, and now it's on Hulu, and people are paying for Hulu, and the writers and Tina Fey's like, I'm not seeing any of that.
No, they're not getting paid for any of that. Yeah,
of that.
Exactly.
And so we worked all that out. I'm sure they got screwed, but, there is a deal now for that. And so you're going to try to short the Black Widow. Your plan is to pick your star who's got widow's bite and she's got the grabby legs.
Yes.
And you're going to not pay her?
Yeah.
Good luck. So I just watched The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, I think that's going to be the new thing that and it'll go all the way down to, Jean-Roger Page is going to be like, I didn't get my money for the new James Bond movie where I play the villain.
No.
That's what'll happen. They'll cast him as the villain.
No.
I am the European villain whose skin is darker than James Bond's.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
Or Jack Black won't get his streaming cut for Gulliver's Travels 4. It's Guller time.
No.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a no-brainer to me. Like Disney, like especially these actors that have these big contracts that get paid off of the back end, so they get paid from the profits that are made in the theaters. Why wouldn't they be like, hey, we need a piece of the streaming?
They would never do this to Robert Downey Jr.
No.
And he was a charity case when he walked in.
Yeah.
And I know that, like, you know, now they've got billions of dollars because of him, but they would never try to do this to Dr. Dolittle. And if they did, he'd just be, you know, and they'd just give, you know, be like, send his lawyers down to figure it out. So anyway, hope she gets the money. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of updates going forward. So get the popcorn and just sit back.
I think the redheads should team up and do a suit against Disney. That's what I think they should do.
Yeah.
So.
Well, speaking of the Revenge of the Redheads, we got another redhead.
Oh, yeah?
The character of Mira, played by the actress Amber Heard, who will be returning for Aquaman 2.
Ooh, official. Okay.
Yes.
There have been so many rumors that she'd been replaced. So.
A online petition with nearly 2 million signatures has been amassed to try to get Warner Brothers to remove her. But the producer of Aquaman, Peter Safran, said, we don't care about that.
Fair.
And here's the thing. He's right.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. But they don't call it Tinseltown for nothing.
Yeah.
They manufacture tinsel there. It's a big Christmas industry. No, you do have to show this to people. And if your audience is, shitty F faces, I don't do it. Stand on your principles. You're going to make less money, though.
They probably will make less money, which is a little sad.
And he doesn't. He says all this stuff. He says, he's excited about it. He knows. Yeah, obviously you hear about these things, but we don't take that as gospel. We don't react to fan pressure. We've decided to do this.
Good.
Those are all good, but he never mentions any money. Do you know what I mean? And so, your audience is full of crap faces. Sorry for my language.
Crap faces.
You are going to see a response to this. You are going to see a reaction.
Yeah.
You'd rather just release a new James Wan directed Aquaman film that everybody can get hyped about. The crab people are coming back for another shot. But instead, it's just going to be, cancel Amber Heard on Twitter all throughout the premiere weekend. It's just that's just what happens now. That's what happens.
I know.
We don't negotiate with terrorists as long as they're just like 6 guys that kidnap some athletes, on a German airfield. But when the terrorists are like half the fan base, what do you do?
You know what? I'm really angry. We've got a
Tell them why you mad.
We've got a real problem in this country, or just the world in general, society, with F-boys and them like being like, I don't like this.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
Well, okay, fine, but like
they're on this island.
Yeah, all right.
They're looking good.
But like with these guys who we had Gamersgate and like just all the way back. But it's like, I'm going to go complain on Reddit, and me and my boys are going to complain, and we're going to
my F boys.
Yeah, right. And we're going to get
Gigolo House on Kroll Show, It's
right.
Well, we got to bounce this house. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
And we're going to get a petition, and you're not going to see our money, and we're going to complain, and then we're going to get somebody fired, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to do this, and we're not going to.
She's a bitch.
Yeah, all of this stuff, and I just want to tell them to shut up and wash their mouths out with soap, and be like, "Would you talk to your mothers like that?"
Go on, girl. Well,
and like,
no, Grandma, we wouldn't.
Well, shut up.
You were going really strong till the end. There.
Okay, but this needs to stop. Okay. Enough already. Grow the F up, okay? Women are like over 50% of the U.S. population. We're not going anywhere.
That's,
And what?
So I thought we were maybe getting ready to present a Lysistrata solution, but instead you're like, there are more of us than you. And if we get over our long ingrained societal fear of you when you lift your hands to us, we'll kill you all.
No, that's not where...
51% against 49%. There will be 300 women left, but they'll be the 300. Okay? You give everybody in America a shovel.
Uh-huh.
At the end of this, who's walking out?
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you, they're walking to some smart cocktails and brunch. I'll tell you that. It's going to be women.
Well, okay, a Liz Estrada thing would be great, but like, men just need to respect women more, period, and take them more seriously, and not, like, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean that they're a bitch, okay? And...
Well, they have extensive arguments as to why they hate her, but I think that we can say that.
I know, but I just think it's gone a little
every
far.
argument becomes invalid when you go, 12 posts deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it's like, you've made your argument. I get it.
Yes.
She's, she has allegations of abuse against her as well. She has her own legal troubles.
Yes, she does.
She shat on his bed or
Look,
something.
I'm not
Whatever
trying...
the rumors are.
Yeah.
But when you go 12 or more posts in defending it, you're not talking about that.
No.
You're telling on yourself.
I'm not
and your misogyny.
trying to say that she's...
No.
I'm not defending her, personally.
No, me either.
Okay.
Me either.
All right.
Or her acting.
No, me neither.
I wish success to the producers of Aquaman 2.
Me too.
You've got a long swim ahead of you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some other film stuff. I forgot to mention that Kevin Feige has said that he is angry and embarrassed over this story. So, I don't know how they got this far without him knowing about this.
Okay.
But apparently he is claiming third-party status, and he is monitoring the situation to get ScarJo paid. But he didn't know about it. I didn't know what's going on. I'm not in charge of anything. I'm shocked to discover that we weren't paying ScarJo for her work on this film.
I'm not exactly sure how to react to that.
Me either. And Disney, those little pricks, in addition to COVID shaming her, they released her salary.
Disney.
And
like Disney,
it's not
you just look like dicks.
Yeah,
okay?
but so basically, like, they made the point, like, she got $20 million. What does she want? And it's like, well,
your film made more than that.
You signed some papers with her that said she was going to get more. So I don't know how you think that that's going to, like... But for some people, for people who would sign a petition to get rid of Amber Heard, that will work. So it means that they are sending out the dog whistle to the internet hordes for help. And it's just like, what if Lord of the Rings, but the orcs are the good guys, and Gandalf and the Riders of the Rohan are orcs, and they ride down the mountain and wipe everybody out at dawn or for a fifth day or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that Photoshop. I don't care.
No. It's too much.
More movie news. Lucasfilm has hired the YouTube deepfaker who fixed their Luke problem for The Mandalorian. So Mandalorian, we all saw the last episode. Luke Skywalker shows up and we're all like, huh? What happened to weird face Luke Skywalker?
Yeah.
And a lot of people did this because this is, you just use the software to do whatever you want. But there was a specific guy, I don't remember his name, so I'm a bad journalist as well. But he did a couple videos where he fixed the Luke Skywalker thing.
Okay.
He fixed the Peter Cushing thing and the Carrie Fisher thing. And they were really good. And so Lucasfilm hired him. It's like, hey, here's my resume. Fixed your $1 billion show.
Lucasfilm hired him.
Yeah.
Okay, so not Disney, but Lucasfilm specifically.
Now you think that he's going to be out there
that he's going to do more.
Yeah, he's going to be out there bringing Alec Guinness back to life.
Yeah, right.
Bringing Ahmed Best back to life. It's not dead.
No.
Bringing Timberland back to life. Timberland ain't dead. But really, they're probably, it's the thing where it's like you buy the competition to bury them.
You think that's what they're doing?
They'll put him in a wooden crate, and a guy in a driver's cap will push him into the warehouse with all the others screaming.
God.
No, he's just going to be working at a desk, right? They're not going to put him, make him the head of like digital face reerasing.
I just hate what they do so much. So if they got this guy who fixed it, and you're telling me it looks good, it would be so much better. I would be happier. For whatever that means.
So you'd be happy that they will now be, speaking of nostalgic return and acceleration, digging into their cast of dead actors?
No. But if they're going to do it well.
Here's this test, Welcome, Mr. Tallywhacker. There's a bomb under your chair. Here is your task. If you fail, you die. Make Harrison Ford act again.
Oh, my God.
Here's your keyboard. Taika Waititi is running around like a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. And one of the things you might have forgot that he's working on is a Flash Gordon film.
I did forget he was working on that.
Originally intended to be animated, it may now be live action.
Okay. All right. Do it.
So does he play Flash Gordon since he likes to put himself in all his movies?
I don't know if he will.
Or does he grow a big beard and he plays the Brian Blessed role? But he's like, instead, you know how Brian, these two people are like the opposite sides of humanity. So you've got like upside down on a rocket cycle.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Yes.
And Taika Waititi's like, oh, upside down on a rocket cycle.
Yeah, it just would play very differently.
Yeah.
Extremely differently. I guess
Cinema score F.
Yeah, wow. Maybe he would put himself as Flash Gordon, although I feel like when he does put himself in his own films, but I feel
he's too old for Flash.
I feel like he would
He's too old for Flash.
Play some other character besides Flash, you know. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the role that you said, or maybe in something else. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a long time since I've seen the Flash Gordon movie, but
he'll be the old kooky scientist whose name I can't.
I could see that.
Remember?
I think he'd make a great kooky scientist. So
what do they do on the rocket cycle? I don't know. I'm not really a Flash Gordon fan.
I don't know.
Anyway, I am of the original comic strips.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but that movie, I don't know. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. God knows if he'll ever finish it. We're still waiting for Werewolves, so who knows when that'll come out. And Jojo Rabbit 2.
No.
The Jojoning. The Quickening? It's about rabbits.
I don't.
The Hoppening.
There you go.
What? There's got to be an Easter Bunny 2, right? What's the subtitle for Easter Bunny 2? This is we would write this joke off air and then we'd say it on air. But
I don't know what the Easter Bunny is about.
Jojo
so
Rabbit 2. Hippity hip hoppening. The Hoppening. There you go. Jojo Rabbit 2, The Hoppening.
Okay. All right. We got there.
We've got other stories, believe it or not, but we'll try to get through them really fast here. How about a little video game news?
Okay.
So did you hear, did you know that Horizon Zero Dawn has a sequel coming out?
Yes.
And that sequel will not be coming out until 2022.
You told me this because is it due to more internet people complaining about crap? She doesn't look.
Do you want to give us a
same.
quick thing of that?
Yeah. So I don't know if this is the reason why or not, but people on the internet were complaining because
Shitty men on the internet are the stars of this show.
Yeah.
Today.
Brought to you by Shitty Men on the Internet. Great.
Shitty men on the internet. When you've got too much self-esteem.
Yeah. So basically, Eivor, who is the main character of...
No.
What?
Aloy.
Why did I think it was Eivor?
Aloy. So we don't get that she's, an alloy, which is a blend of two things.
Right.
She's blending the blah, 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 blah. Anyway. I didn't say it was deep.
Aloy.
Eivor is Assassin's Creed.
Okay. There you go.
You compare me with that fat face, I'll kill you.
Oh my God, no. Stop it. Okay.
I've told half your story already.
Aloy basically, in the first, everybody's used to how she looked in the first game. And in the second game... She looks
exactly the same in the second game, just with more pixels.
Yeah.
People think her face is fat.
They think her face is fat. So there is speculation that that's the reason why they're pushing the game back, that they're going to fix
or
her
homey.
Face. She looks... homely. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess those are two. Sorry. Look, I don't call people homely a lot, but that's fallen on a fashion. But I say homey every day, right?
Yeah, right back at you.
I don't see what they're seeing.
Okay.
I haven't done like a full-on wind tunnel laser scan CAD breakdown.
Well, why not?
I can see that they have added more pixels because this is a PS5 game,
right?
So this is a whole new world,
new
1,000
engine.
Places to see or whatever.
Yeah.
But they stay in one town, and so I can see how maybe there might be more vertices or more depth to her face or whatever. I mean, like, she's just, she's like a petite redhead with a bow, right? She's like the chick from The Brave or whatever.
Sure. Merida.
So I don't know what their problem is. But it's become this whole thing where somebody made as a joke, like a Glamour Shots version of Aloy.
Yeah.
Where her face is all like pulled back and she's like, I'm hot. So like she's in a Motley Crue video.
Yeah.
But like the bad boys took that and they ran with it, which is why you never give them anything. This is why you don't talk to them.
No.
Anyway, so now it's going to be delayed. Now, it's a complicated game. This is like a quadruple A game, right? That's going to require a lot of work. Delays are not weird at all.
Yeah.
But much like a Star Wars sequel that suddenly experiences delays and then they reshoot 3/4 of the movie, it seems like maybe they're fixing her face.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yes. That's exactly what it
And this is the thing. If everyone's a terrorist, negotiating with them is just entering the marketplace. The only thing you do is make a game by yourself, for yourself, play it, and then kill yourself.
Because like these a-holes have so much power.
Aloy. We said it was Aloy.
Yeah, right. These jerks have so much power because people let them. They're like, oh, we're not going to spend our money on this because blah, blah, blah. And like...
do they sound like that, though?
Yes. Yes, they do.
Okay.
And I just... It's really frustrating for me because women have to fight for everything. And it's just... Why are we still like this? Why are we women so disrespected and underappreciated and
underappreciated? They're making a Mary Hartman remake at TBS.
What?
Norman Lear is 99 and he's doing more than you and I together do all day.
Okay.
You cannot stop this man.
Okay.
Him and Mel Brooks and Carl's gone. Who's old and talented and still around?
I don't know.
They should, do the Three Musketeers. We'll get somebody else will do the stunts, but
yes.
It's like the Sunshine Boys meets the Three Musketeers.
Sure.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But here's some bright news, sunny news. Leah Thompson says that Marvel Studios liked her Howard the Duck pitch. I think we talked about this on an earlier show. Howard the Duck is sort of coming up because it's like the anniversary of the character. Also, he, it keeps showing up in trailers and stuff. They canceled that Hulu show. So God knows what their plans are. But Leah Thompson went, I'm a director. I've directed a ton of stuff now. Give me a meeting with, Kevin Feige's dog and I'll pitch him my thing.
Yeah.
And they liked her pitch.
That's good.
I don't have any details on her pitch. But I can tell you, they didn't buy it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was the end.
They liked it,
She had a tweet thread about
it.
like how, I got to do it. And like, yeah, it's a good idea. And then the last day, it's like, I didn't take it. So it's like...
Well, that's really disappointing. You tricked me because you said, this is a little bit of sunshine. I was like, this is great. This is fun. But they didn't buy it. I mean, it is still sunshine.
They'll get desperate.
But
they know there's a thirst there. They clearly, for all of their, the copy of a copy of a copy of a Joss Whedon thing, they know that they need fresh blood. That's why they bring in these independent filmmakers and then don't let them do what they want to do. Or maybe they don't know what they're doing. They'll get hungry enough. We'll get it trending on Twitter, and they'll change their minds.
I think Howard the Duck is going to be featured in the new What If series. As well. Yeah,
another reason that they're talking about it. So anyway, this has become basically an all show, all news time. So we'll wrap up here so we can move on. But first, I wanted to say really fast that there is a new podcast called Batman Unburied. It is a drama podcast featuring Batman in an original story.
Okay.
It is produced by David S. Goyer because the guy's just it's handcuffed to his wrist at this point.
No.
But here's the good news. Bruce Wayne will be voiced by Winston Duke, and Alfred will be voiced by Jason Isaacs.
Oh my God. I love all of this.
Get your own exploding gas balls.
Except for the David S. Goyer part. But I'm looking forward to this. When is this coming out?
Why do we learn to fall, Bruce?
I just was thinking...
So I can beat the crap out of you until you get up again.
Thinking about him because this is how my brain works. Because we were rewatching the Nolan series Batman, and Lucius Fox, and I'm thinking of other Luciuses, and I think of Lucius Malfoy, and then Jason Isaacs. It. So
you might be. Well, this story is a couple days old. You could have been the first one to make that joke. That's how Twitter. That's how it works. So,
anyways, just really enjoy Jason Isaacs. I think he's great. I really like Winston Duke too. So that's awesome. I think. I don't know. Is he going to play him old? I wonder how he's going to play him, like Alfred.
Andy Serkis is playing him in The Batman, if we ever see that movie.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting choice, too.
You're starting to get a reputation. We watched the trailer the other day.
Yeah, I know. I didn't realize he was in it, though. Yeah. Okay, cool.
He won't... Jason Isaacs... Even though he plays mean-faced British guy, he can do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But
I don't know if he comes in and they just go for it. And he's like, "Oh, Master Wayne, you gotta get your pips ups on your boop boops." And they're like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing my Alfred." He's like, "Do mean-faced British guy." Yeah. He's like, "Fine, your tea is ready, Master Wayne."
I kind of hope that he's mean-faced.
Well, you wanted a ray of sunshine. You got it.
Yes.
Stephen Dorff has walked back his Black Widow comments after the movie received critical acclaim.
I was holding my breath.
Last week, he said he felt bad for Scarlett Johansson. These movies are like video game theme parks or something. And he just, I just want to be in a movie. I just do it. I don't like to do whatever. I'm trying to find the new... He better not have said Martin Scorsese, but he probably said, no, I think he said Stanley Kubrick, actually. And it's like, yeah, because I made the joke, we'll go to 1960s New York.
Yeah, right.
Or 1950s New York, and he's taking pictures. Yeah, you can find the tell your joke. Don't laugh at it. The Stanley Kubrick of today is on an internet forum posting about that bitch Amber Heard, and we got to get her out of this movie. But anyway, he said... well, his comments are taken a bit out of context. Multiple paragraphs of unbroken text were your quotes. How could that be taken out of context?
Here's an idea.
And he says, "I love Scarlett, though. I heard she's going to be a mom, so I wish her the best." She has 3 kids already?
She's been a mom! Yeah. Where have you been?
Yeah. She's an old friend of mine. Really old.
No. Says who? If you said you heard she was going to be a mom, she has 3 kids already. You're clearly not friends with her.
Yeah. And then he said, I haven't seen it. Black Widow. I don't go to those movies. I liked Iron Man. I like when they go a little darker. I love Joker. I'm looking forward to the new Batman. Well, I guess I am too, although I'm a little worried about how it's going to turn out. I think, Independent got me at a moment where I was shit-talking. I feel bad about it. It happens sometimes. You know what happens sometimes?
You say stuff
cocaine!
Without thinking. Yeah, well, that too. Maybe don't do cocaine before you do an interview, yeah. Stephen Dorff.
Don't let your sweat do the talking.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought it was a mobile organism designed only for computing? Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
It's a mental organism designed only for killing.
Yes.
Which is actually literally not true because he was designed for computing. If there was
originally,
he was accidentally became or through machinations
yes.
became so anyway. But anyway, the point is he came out a killing machine.
Yes.
And a killing machine he is with his mental power and his many saws. He's got saws in there.
He does.
What's in there? Saws.
I know.
It's Modok.
Yes.
Modok is often the leader of AIM, although not always. He was created in a experiment/accident with a cosmic cube, which turned somewhat mild manner. I mean, it worked for AIM. Scientist George Tarleton into Modok.
Yes.
But maybe not. Maybe a certain comedian/writer can pull a Matt Fraction and screw the whole thing up. It's Modok Head Games, a 4-issue miniseries written by Jordan Blum and Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
What happens in this series?
I mean, basically, we see present day AIM, and they're trying to. I'm going to do my best to not do this really slowly. Basically, they're trying to steal stuff from Stark Industries, and they're in the middle of this heist, this train heist. And Monica, who is Modok's sworn enemy in AIM, is like yelling at him because he got hit in the head, and then he sees this vision of this family that he doesn't remember, a wife and 2 kids, and it really throws him. But he keeps seeing it throughout, and he basically, she says, "Oh, you ruined the job," and blah blah blah. Flash forward, and basically, he basically gets. I'm saying basically a lot. He gets kicked out of AIM by Monica and other people, and she's
a scientist supreme.
She's a scientist supreme, and he's trying to figure out what are these visions of his family, this life that he doesn't remember, and so he kind of goes on a journey trying to figure that out.
But
and
he doesn't go alone.
No, he actually has some help.
My arch nemesis!
Yes, from Iron Man, Tony Stark himself.
From the movie Iron Man?
Yes.
Tony Stark?
Yes.
Oh, now you got my attention. Before you had my interest.
And he kind of helps him for a little bit. And later on, we get a cameo from Gwenpool as well. And lots of other adventures along the way. And he goes...
Oh, Gwenpool, that SJW cuck character.
My gosh. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
All right, now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
A journey of discovery.
Essentially.
That, I don't know, maybe we don't spoil it. That might rewrite his origins a little bit.
Yeah.
This is, obviously, Patton Oswalt, huge comic fan.
Yes.
And Jordan Blum is an actor/writer, actually is one of the voices in the show.
Oh, great.
Of course. So is Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
Must be nice to write yourself a comic book, then get a show, write a show, cast yourself in the show.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what came first, but yeah.
Well, I think the show pitch or buying the show came first, and the book is, supplemental. But
yeah.
But it works.
Because
nice
I can't
I can't read Modok anymore without hearing
I hear his voice too. Yes.
But it's also a very meta series that takes, this ridiculous character at face value and gives you a lot of moments that are designed to tickle the Marvel bones of true believers. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really neat. Maybe that's all you could really do with a story about a giant head guy who wants to rule the world. That has to be the ostensible hero character of this thing. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that, immediately when AIM turns on him because he's distracted and weak, and that's, it's survival of the fittest at AIM.
Yeah.
They fight him and they knock him down through all the levels. They put a gravity bomb on or something, so he gets drawn down through all the levels, and we have a cutaway, and he's blasting through all the things, and he lands up in the bottom basement. In the basement, and all of that is a reference to the X-Men's battle with the Hellfire Club, when Sebastian Shaw, Leland, who can increase things mass, he makes Wolverine weigh 3 tons, and he crashes in the basement, and they defeated the X-Men, except Wolverine's free. And so he turns at the camera and he's like, "All right, bub, you've had your turn. Now it's mine." And and Modok says that too. It's like the same thing. So there's all kinds of things like that, and then
he's references to other comics.
He's in the armory,
Yes.
He jumps out. He makes the point that a lot of the things that they have are stolen from superheroes.
Yes.
And so he jumps out and he's wearing Giant Man's helmet, but in giant size because he's got a giant head.
Yes.
And he's got, he's got Dane Whitman's, energy Black Knight sword, and he's got, he's got Star-Lord's blaster.
I was going to say
Herbie the robot
Star-Lord's
is coming
blaster.
up with him. Yeah. So it's fun stuff like that. Everything is a remix now, especially comics.
Yeah.
And so this is a 4 issues of concentrated fan wank, but in the best way possible. Yeah. And not just from the, hey, what's up? Not from the Ms. Marvel side, but it's like, oh man, I'm your biggest fan. I wrote a fanfic about you making out with Nightcrawlers. And like, not, this is on the villain side.
Yeah, right.
They go to a trade show for villains.
I thought that was really
funny. And so
funny.
all the villains are there like to buy like evil stolen technology.
I know.
Like that. Yeah.
I love it. And like then they get to the convention.
Oh, and they dress up as...
Yes!
He dresses up as Arnim Zola.
Yes.
He just puts a big, like, robot body around his chair.
Uh-huh.
And then he just has, Tony has to dress up as a Hydra guy or something like that.
Okay. I assumed it was something like that.
Yeah.
But I love when they get there and they are welcomed to the expo and they're like, oh, there's free complimentary water at the check-in. It's
yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean, it's just stuff like that. This is a nice touch. And yeah, they have to get like the password so they can get to the base. They're there because one of the things they did steal from the train was this Stark tech that will help Tony fix Modok. It has like nanites that'll help him fix it, and he's like, it's not a weapon. And then like Modok explains how you can make just about anything a weapon,
right?
And like Tony's like, oh my god, like he's like, your machine can help repair. I think it was something like some sort of nuclear warheads or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my, he like didn't even think about that as a possibility, which I think is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's interesting too, right? Tony started trying to do something that's positive and that's good, and he's like, this is not a weapon, and Modok is like, actually.
Oh, no, I can make a weapon out of this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and it really gets turned up a notch when the Scientist Supreme decides to call in a recent Modok foe.
Yeah.
Gwenpool.
Who apparently killed him.
Yeah,
recently.
In some other...
I think it was in Gwenpool's book.
Yeah.
Or something like
so
that.
So it does count.
Yeah.
And Gwenpool is... Gwenpool is like Daredevil. I did it again! Oh, it's our old bit on the show where I call Deadpool Daredevil and vice versa.
Yeah.
Gwenpool is like Deadpool.
Yes.
Whereas like Deadpool knows he's in a comic book, but Gwenpool reads comic books.
Yeah,
She is like a Marvel Comics fan from our world that got sucked into the Marvel Universe somehow, but also has Looney Tunes fourth wall breaking powers.
Yeah, and we see that in this.
So when they contact her initially, she is... For whatever reason, the weird connection between Deadpool and the X-Men for some reason? I don't know why he's always hanging out with the X-Men. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
She also hangs out with the X-Men who are currently living on Krakoa. Uh-huh. And so she needs to find like the portal on Krakoa that gets her to where she wants to go. Yeah. And so she runs into... crap. Rusty and Skids.
Yeah.
Skids.
Yeah, Skids.
And
I'm not familiar with.
And you wouldn't be. Has a tortured history in comics. And she basically like lays out the tortured history.
I know.
As she kind of makes fun of her. But she does it with editor's notes. The little editor's
yes.
like, hey, True Believers, it was in X Factor number 3 or whatever.
Yes.
And so like they cite all these times that she was like, weren't you like a mutant terrorist? And then you were, you worked for S.H.I.E.L.D. for a while. And she's like, yeah, I did all that stuff. And so by the time that she's done doing this and she finds the thing, the editor's box is a literal thing that she's holding. And then she throws it into Skid's arms and like takes off.
Yeah. And then Cyclops is like, comes up to her and he's like, hey, what's going on? And she's like, I want a new job.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the editor's bits are, Patton Oswalt's co-writer going like, I don't like this idea. That was in X Factor number 7. I told you, I don't want to do this. Yeah, so it's good stuff. Modok has to sort of return to his origins, to his roots in a way.
Yes.
And I'm going to spoil something. Ooh. I have a tickle in my throat. That's the secret. I'm going to spoil something, and I think it's interesting. I don't think it has anything to do with really like the themes, insofar as there are themes in the story. Yeah. Except to maybe say that you can kind of write your own ending, or you can kind of change, your destiny if you want. Mm-hmm. But Gwenpool is successful in killing him. Yes. She kills him.
Yeah, she does.
And as she does, his thing gets fixed and she realizes what he was here for. He was trying to find this family that he remembers. Yeah. And so she jumps out of the comic book and goes to an old-style drugstore comic rack
Yep.
and pulls the issue out of the rack.
The
and
issue
then goes,
that you are reading.
Yeah, and she goes, all right, help me out here. You know, it's like clap for if you love fairies, you know. She's like, go back to that other page, and you can just cut this page out, and we'll just skip to the next part. And if you go back to that page, there's a dotted line on the thing where you can cut the page out.
I know. It's fun.
It's
really fun.
So anyway, I won't spoil the ending except to say that Modok has a cell phone case made of Uru metal. So, if that gets you hard as Uru, you should read Modok Head Games by Oswalt and Blum. Let's move right on to the Hulu series.
Yeah, I was just going to say Uru is the same metal as Thor's hammer, just in case. I mean, I guess.
If you didn't need to be told that, you'll love Modok Head Games.
All right.
Now, interesting twist. What happens in the TV show?
The TV show is quite different.
No, it's not.
You don't think so?
You keep maintaining that it's different, but go ahead and we'll talk about it.
Oh, well, maybe it isn't. Now I'm thinking about it. So in the TV show, he has his family, and it's the same family that we saw in the comics that he didn't remember having. But in this, it's at least it appears to be what is real. And things are not going well at AIM, but it's a little different. Like they're going bankrupt. They don't really have any money. But Monica is still there. They're still enemies. And they get bought by this company called Grumble.
And they're a tech company.
Yeah, and there's the guy who's like the CEO of Grumble or in charge or whatever. The guy who's talking about it, Austin. Oh, he's so annoying. He's like a cool.com guy, right?
I'll vaporize you. Well, you vape, dude? That's so cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. And like Modok like eventually gives in and sells the company to him like in the first episode, and then he incredibly regrets it because there's all these stipulations. It's like, oh, you don't really own the company anymore. Oh, you can't kill anybody at AIM, and stuff like that. And he's just really not having a good time. And things are not going well at home either. Like his wife is really frustrated with him. He's never home. He never really pays attention.
Yeah.
And she says, I think it's at the end of the first episode, that she wants to get divorced. Mm-hmm. And he's really upset about that. His kids they're teenagers. Melissa is the girl, and she looks...
She's a Modok.
She's a Modok, yeah. And then his son, Lou, who is not a Modok.
No, and is played by Ben Schwartz.
Yes, which I didn't realize that. That's awesome. And then they also have this robot, the super adaptoid, yes, who they call the Blender. It's not very kind to do that to him. And one of my favorite actors from Veep plays one of the AIM guys who loses an arm in the first episode.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's basically Modok wants to make his marriage work. He wants to get his company back. How is he going to do that? And
you got a show.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
The Simpsons meets Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Well, that was a less than enthusiastic, yeah.
No, I mean, yeah.
Is your issue that Rick and Morty, that all family sitcoms that are animated stand under in the shadow of The Simpsons, and so therefore Rick and Morty is a lot of The Simpsons itself?
Yeah, but I also think that in some ways, because this is science fiction yet a family sitcom, it is kind of like Rick and Morty, except it's not as bleak as Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and the dad is a no good jerk ass.
Yeah, right. I mean,
well, we don't have to adjudicate that right now.
Yeah, I know.
That's my pitch.
Yeah.
And I think it's held up by what happens in the second episode, when in an attempt to get his wife Jody back, Modok decides to take her to back in time to 2003 to a Third Eye Blind concert that they missed because that was the night that she told him that she was pregnant with Melissa.
Yes.
And so, he's got a time machine because he's Modok.
Yeah.
And they go back to the Third Eye Blind concert.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they paid for the music.
They totally did, which I think is awesome.
But later on in the episode, at the poignant moments, there's like a bummer acoustic version of
Yes.
Never Let You Go that plays.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they go to the thing, and of course, things go wrong because Modok also wants to kill Austin in the past.
Yes.
So he doesn't have to deal with Austin anymore.
Yes.
And so that gets them off track. He runs into younger Modok, college Modok.
Yes.
Who, through machinations, ends up with the time machine. And so they're stuck in the past. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to spoil it a little bit just to give you an idea of why this is, I call it Rick and Morty. He and Jody end up living through to the present.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
The slow path. Like they basically, I don't know how this works, but they squat in the bushes and watch all the major events of their lives together.
Yes.
And in doing so, and in re-experiencing all of their triumphs and tragedies again, they decide that they have to get together again. And so they live through to the point where Modok initially takes her back in time, and they run out of the bushes and knock the time machine out of their hand. They're like, no, you don't. You have to be. Wait. Oh, we're disappearing. No. And they disappear.
Yeah.
And then Jody's like, who the hell was that? Oh, you're not going to take me to a concert. And the whole thing is absolutely for nothing.
Yeah.
It was all a waste.
I know. I mean, yeah, I really, that's a good point.
Nobody learned anything.
Yeah, it's all futile, and like, there's different versions of them and just traveling through time and that sort of thing. So I know I can. You're talking me into it more.
All right. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of humor. It's combining the sci-fi, with the comedy, and the comedy is really great.
I think it's really fun.
They really find, they find Marvel Universe in jokes, but also it's just like well written. It's just like good. Mm-hmm. Sitcom type humor. Mm-hmm. And there's stuff like Modok goes to a retreat, a corporate retreat, and his wife is a brand influencer, or wants to be.
Yes.
And so she's kind of moving up in that world. And while they're at the retreat, they see her on TV, and she's on a talk show, and it's like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the Pandemonium Hour, and the host is Pandemonium, the guy who's got two baby hands, for a thing. So he's like, oh, I love your recipes, Oh, there go to my waistline. And he slams his baby hands on the desk.
Oh, I know.
And the babies start crying. The audience is like, boo. And he's like, what? They're demons.
I know. I know. And then there's this other random demon who's just sitting next to her.
Yeah, the other guest. Or the co-host.
Or the co-host,
That's
like
Ed.
Conan O'Brien. Yeah,
or,
exactly.
Sorry, yeah, of course, Andy. But, yeah, just stuff like that. And then Modok moves into a bachelor pad in the bad part of town.
Yes.
And the building is called Dire Suites.
I know.
That's solid stuff.
Yeah.
That's just a little thing.
Yes.
And it proved to me that, the problem with Robot Chicken was the writing. It has nothing to do with the stop motion animation.
No.
Which I had to check that it wasn't computer. This is real stop motion animation.
That's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, I mean, they're, little effects and stuff will be computer stuff, but it's all acted out, and it's guys who have, ground and honed their blades to razor sharpness on 10 years of that terrible effing show, Robot Chicken. Which is like, we get it. You've watched Star Wars. But this is like, no, you get like a fresh, let's say seasoned. Is Patton Oswalt fresh? I don't know.
Seasoned.
A seasoned comic mind
Yes.
on this, who has probably been writing this in his head for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then you put the technology behind it, and you've got a show that nobody's talking about.
Why is nobody talking about it?
Why we decided to talk about it today, because I can't believe people aren't talking about this.
Is it because it's on Hulu, or do people just not know?
That's absolutely why it is.
Or do people just not know about it? Because honestly, I feel like I saw a trailer for this, and I wasn't, but maybe it was partly the trailer too, because I remember seeing the trailer and not being like super excited about it.
Yeah. And something else, people were all excited about the meta commercial where the trailer for Free Guy, we're going to get there. The trailer for Free Guy, where Deadpool and Korg talk about how you gotta say Free Guy.
Uh-huh.
You gotta see this movie.
Yeah.
Why do you talk like that?
Yeah, right.
Do you know Hugh Jackman? I don't know. I'm renting their bets for him. And of course, it's like they're both in the film, Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they do any Green Lantern jokes, but it's a Fox film. So you can have a Fox character and a Disney character, a Disney Marvel character.
Yeah.
Ooh, is this in universe? No, idiot. It's Deadpool. None of it's in universe, at least not yet. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But this show, it's people from all... Iron Man's in the show.
I know.
They mention Spider-Man in the show, although he doesn't appear. And then at one point, Modok wants to ruin this the corporate mixer in order to get the board's attention. And so he is going to open a portal and get dangerous aliens in.
Yes.
And he starts flipping through aliens, and he sees Skrulls. 20th Century Fox.
Yeah.
He sees Shi'ar, 20th Century Fox.
Right.
And he sees the Brood,
Yes.
20th Century Fox.
Yes.
And he sees the Watcher, technically, kind of 20th Century Fox. Can you trademark a guy with a big head? Apparently you can.
I don't know.
And Modok says, I'm the big head guy. So
Yeah,
he passes over the Watcher.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't have been fun at a party anyway. All I can do is just watch.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this is it. We did it. This is the first fully integrated Marvel property, isn't it? And nobody's talking about it. It drives me crazy.
I know.
It ends today.
Yeah.
2 million signatures on this petition. You inject Modok into you along with the vaccine.
Oh my God.
That's what I say.
So do you think that the comic and the TV show are going to be related more than they appear to be?
I don't think so. Like, I don't, who knows? A lot could happen on this show. We could get to the last episode and we find out that the family's not real. They're in his head or whatever. But I think it's more an idea of, oh, Patton, a real life Austin. Great to see you. Oh, I love the comedy. So funny. Have a seat. Bottled water?
Yeah.
What's your idea? My idea is Modok. And he's got a family, right? And it's like, okay, you got all these characters. And it's like, oh, great. How about a comic tie-in? And you go, okay, well, what do we do with the characters? Like, do we tell the stories?
Yeah.
We don't want to steal the show's thunder.
Right.
So we just remix them in a way and we create,
something else.
Story where we can just have fun and play, but also set the stage. You recognize these characters because the designs are the exact same.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
the
true.
characters look
That's
the same,
true.
both in the comic and the TV show.
That is very true. Yes.
Maybe his real life is a fiction and the family is real. And he's not actually at a supervillain trade show in Las Vegas. Doesn't that seem a little weird? That seems more fictional to me.
It does, but I like the idea of it. I just think it's so ridiculous.
It's a Little Venture Brothers.
Yes. I feel like that resonates with me the most. It's
what if I told you?
But it's like evil.
What if I told you that the Venture Brothers was The Simpsons meets Rick and Morty?
Well, I could see that too, except it wasn't Venture Brothers before Rick and Morty.
Would you recommend this?
Am I too pedantic for you?
Never.
Yes, I would recommend
this. What would the show be if you weren't?
It is very fun.
Yeah.
Well done, and you should watch it.
Kudos all around.
Yeah.
I would absolutely recommend it as well. The miniseries is available. I don't know if they've put it into a trade paperback yet, but
I don't know.
Of course, the issues are available on.
What is it
Marvel
called?
Unlimited.
Yeah, I think it's still Marvel Unlimited, isn't it?
I guess so. But yeah, digitally.
Yeah.
If you watch the show, they have a link like at the end of the show where you can like follow that and go and get the comic book. So I would definitely recommend that. So here's the thing. Jeff Loeb is gone. Thank God. Oh, thank God he's gone. So the wall is supposed to be coming down. We've already seen it come down because the Vision and Scarlet Witch were in a TV show. And Loki was in a TV show. Right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So if the wall is permeable now, Modok he makes his bones on Hulu. Mm-hmm. We see him come in.
And into the MCU.
He teams up with the Serpent Society.
Yeah.
They're fighting Falcap.
Sure.
In a show.
Sure.
Or in a movie.
I would like that.
You think Kang shows up? He's gonna need a science man.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna need a hype man. It's gonna be Modok.
There you go.
And Modok will betray him. All right. Well, ultimately, we did it.
We did
That's
do
the
it.
fastest we ever powered through anything.
Yeah.
I'm proud of us.
Woohoo!
Except for the copious amounts of news that we had to cover. But
So
we
much
need to
news.
talk about these angry redheads. So fiery.
So I thought you were going to talk about the angry guys on Twitter.
All have green eyes.
On Reddit.
No, I'm much more scared of the girls.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. How dare they ask
Hell
for
hath
money?
no fury like an entertainment lawyer that ain't getting paid.
Yeah. That I believe.
Now imagine a redheaded, green-eyed entertainment lawyer. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
That's got some kind of superpowers.
I mean, how dare they ask for the money they were owed in the contract?
Yeah.
How dare they?
What is this?
Yeah.
Society with laws. So don't make us angry. Go to social media. Follow us at Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram. We're going to be putting some things on those things when we go to Convergence next weekend. And so listen in and listen along with us. We'd appreciate that. Also, go to your listening platform of choice if you haven't already. If you're listening to this on the internet, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when we get support on those platforms, that's good for our robot overlords.
Yes.
Be they big-headed or no, and they know that we're doing a good job. We move up in the ranks. Everybody gets happy. So subscribe to the show, leave us a review, and give us a rating.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Give us 5 horse catapults, which is how you play horse golf. We find out. It's golf,
In the Modok show.
but the horses are the balls.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
That was strange. I didn't totally... I was like a little confused when that was going on,
Yeah.
but to say the least.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Modok gains the superpower of negging people, basically.
Yes.
to doing what he wants.
Yes. That he is taught by his daughter.
Tony Stark should watch out.
Yeah.
Give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it. We'll be back next week. Talk about Convergence,
Yes.
what we're doing there. And until then, we're signing off. I'm your host, Caliban.
I'm your co-host, Mikan Hana.
Keep the geek fires burning.